Yesterday, 14th of May 2024, the Migration Advisory Committee, popularly known as MAC, has released their findings on the investigation they were required to carry out a couple of months ago by the Home Office Secretary. And based on their investigation, they've come to this conclusion, as mentioned on the press release published yesterday. Now, they said after reviewing the evidence, our conclusion is clear: the graduate route visa has broadly achieved and continues to achieve the objectives set by this government. We therefore recommend that the route remains in place in its current form. So the conclusion, from the investigation carried out by Mark, is saying that the post-study work visa, popularly known as graduate route visa, should remain, and the government should have no plan to actually stop this route because the visa route is actually achieving the purpose why it was, initially, introduced, and which is a good news to so many international students, in my opinion. And I think this really allows people to, still find a way to integrate into the system and being able to, apply for different jobs upon completion of their master's program. However, in as much as this is a good news, one of the things I do on this channel is to make sure I try to provide like a balanced opinion on, issues like this. So in as much as the good news that, oh, the graduate visa is not going anywhere, it's going to remain, we definitely need to put this in the right context. We need to put this in, different perspectives, just to ensure that, we have good understanding on the motive why this is being done, and also how this is definitely going to benefit so many of us. Trust me, it's definitely going to be it's going to be beneficial to so many immigrants, so many international students being able to get a job and stay back in the country. So yeah, that's what I'm going to share in this video. So if it sounds something that will interest you, please keep watching to the end. And if you're not interested, please just move to the next video. Okay. So yeah, if you're coming across the channel also, please hit on the subscribe button. And for my fellow subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Just for context, for those who don't know, a couple of months ago, the Home Office Secretary, James Cleverly, gave the Migration Advisory Committee a task to actually investigate the graduate route visa, just to confirm if this visa route is not being abused by international students or immigrants here in the UK. So now, after the investigation, they were required to provide this report on or before, I think, 14th or 15th of May 2024, and they released the publication yesterday, which happens to be 14th of May. And they came up with the conclusion that the UK's graduate visa scheme is not being widely abused and should remain in place. A Home Office commissioned report has found. Now, they've actually released a publication that this graduate visa should remain, which is a good thing. This is what the Home Office Secretary is trying to achieve. They want to ensure that the route was not being abused and that the demand for study visa was not being driven more by the desire for immigration rather than education. Now, the Independent Migration Advisory Committee, MAC, has found no evidence of significant abuse of the route, which allows international students to stay in the UK for 2 or 3 years after graduation, of course, depending on the program. The MAC review concluded that the graduate route is not undermining the integrity of and quality of UK education system and is helping university make up for financial losses on domestic students and research through income from international tuition fee, which is a good thing, really, because in my opinion, I think if this graduate route visa gets stopped, trust me, it's going to be a massive blow on UK universities, because the fact that they even stopped dependent visa is already a massive blow on them. They've got about 80% less, to the number of students application or study application they've been getting in the last couple of months. And yeah, so it's going to be a major blow to them. This is where they get to make most of their funding to help with meeting up with the cost of running a university. So yeah, so it's a good thing, it's a good news. People are actually being excited, and yeah, we definitely need to actually know the motive behind this conclusion and this decision. Now, of course, because of the fact that many universities will be affected, the Committee of Universities in the UK have been putting a lot of pressure on the government because of course, I shared a particular video a couple of days ago about how universities are beginning to cut staff because they employed loads of people into the system because of the high demand. And now that the demand is low, they can't afford to keep those staff. They need to actually, let some of them off. So that's why some universities are already, putting so many of their staffs on redundancy and all of those reasons. So now Despite the fact that the mark has obviously done their investigation, university leaders have also come out. They've also come out to say that they've called on ministers to end the toxic uncertainty over the future of the graduate routes by announcing there will be no changes. And this is what UK universities are actually trying to make the government to do. They need to announce publicly that there's no plan, which is one thing I think they should do. If this graduate route visa, this suggestion made by Mark is being accepted, the government needs to actually make a public announcement to say that the graduate route visa is not going to change. It's not going to be taken off anytime soon. So it gives people more comfort. If this is not done, trust me, this is just a publication by Mark. This is not an announcement by the Home Office. So the fact that Mark reviewed that it should be in its place doesn't mean that it will be in its place, if you understand what I mean. So yeah, in my opinion, I think the government needs to, just like the UK universities, as I've mentioned, the UK government needs to announce that the graduate route visa will not change. If they don't do that, there's still no certainty, around the graduate route visa. Now, the migration advisory also warned that universities would have to cut courses if the government decides to scrap the post-study visa, which allows students to stay in the UK for a few years after completing their studies. So the fact that the Migration Advisory Committee suggested it doesn't mean the government will do it. It's just that they've been able to give them a reason not to stop it. So it's now, the government's decision to either decide to stop or not to stop. But in my opinion, I think they wouldn't stop the graduate visa, trust me, because they've increased the salary threshold requirement, which makes it more difficult for international students to get sponsorship. They've stopped international students from being able to bring in their dependents. Now, stopping the graduate visa is definitely going to be the end of it. So I doubt they will be willing to do that, because if international students stop coming to the UK, then how are the universities going to fund, their cost? And people have been asking that, post Brexit, how have they actually been funded? The question now is, what was the time gap between post Brexit and when they opened up the graduate visa in 2021? So I'm sure the major reason why they opened up the graduate visa in 2021 was because of the implication of the post Brexit. So they're trying to, attract more international students so they can fill in the gap, being covered by the EU citizens, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's that about what they're trying to do. Now, James cleverly has come under, he has come under pressure from some Tories to curb the graduate visa. Now, last week, the former immigration minister Robert Jenrick published a report that called for the visa to be abolished. Now, the report published with the Central for Policy Studies said that the graduate visa have allowed people to come and work in the gig economy on very low wages, and claim there had been widespread abuse of this route. So that's really what the former immigration minister is suggesting. Now, data published alongside the Mark review showed that the median annual earnings of the 73% graduates who were in employment for at least 1 month, in the year 2022 and 2023 was £17,815. And for the 27% who were in employment across the entire year, this was £26,460. Now, responding to the report, Mr. Jenrick said that the huge increase in people on graduate visa has concentrated in lower ranks ranked has concentrated in lower ranked universities, adding this route isn't attracting top talents. He slammed the report as a whitewash, saying that the conclusions have clearly been constrained by the narrow terms of reference deliberately set by the government. According to him, he believes that this report made by Mark is actually not genuine, according to him. But in my opinion, I think it's actually the right thing, really. Stopping the graduate visa is going to be a massive blow on UK university and UK economy at large. So yeah, just let me hear your thoughts around this graduate visa. Do you think it's a good idea? Should people actually still decide to come into the UK because of this announcement made by Mark? Please stay to the comment section. And if you find this video resourceful, insightful, whatever it is, please click on the like button. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do well to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.